What's up, guys, and welcome to the first ever episode of Game That Dish. I'm your host, Chef Nero. That feels pretty good to say. And today we're going to be cooking some ramen. So, yeah, you always see ramen in anime. It looks amazing. It is amazing. The closest ramen shop that I have here to me is a good an hour and a half to 2 hour drive. So I decided, why not recreate it myself? Everything that I'm going to be using are things that you are able to purchase from your local Walmart. So let me go ahead and show you what I've got. Obviously, we're going to be doing the meat. We're doing some steak, miso tonkotsu, ramen today. So I've got a flat iron steak. It's cheap, but it's delicious. It totally works for this. This thingy, that thingy. Gotta make sure they work. Knife, fork, ramen bowl, chopsticks. Those are going to come in handy later. I've got a pot of water over here, cold water. This is going to be used as an ice bath for our eggs once we get them going. These are the noodles that I like to use. I find that these have the closest resemblance to restaurant quality ramen noodles. This paper plate up here, check, it's a good one. Measuring cup, 1 cup. We got our beef broth. We got a couple eggs, rice vinegar, salt and pepper. We're gonna be using on the steak. We're not going to be using anything else on the steak. Usually I put a bunch of stuff on, but we only need salt and pepper for this one. I have a leek. I've got some baby leeks, or green onions. Over here we've got some seaweed, vegetable oil. I like to use olive oil on a lot of stuff. I prefer vegetable oil when I am cooking steak for ramen. We've got some corn. This doesn't belong here. I think that's about everything. I've got my pan and my pot. They're both on high. I'm getting them heated up to get us ready for what we are about to do. So I'm just gonna move this stuff over to the side for now because we don't quite need it. All right, let's start on our meat. So one more thing, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of sea salt right there in the water. I'm gonna give that a stir. Cool, that works. All right, so let's just generously blanket that aside. Hit it with our pepper. I do a little more pepper than a lot of people might like to do, just because I really love black pepper. And I'm using Peppercorn Medley in a grinder. So one side, I'll do the other side a little bit heavier, just because some of that is gonna get taken off. So let's go ahead and just get a little more over. Hit it with a grinder. All right, it's that simple. Next, I'm gonna take the vegetable oil. We're gonna go ahead and put that right here. This pan has been well loved. Your oil probably won't jump to the middle like that, but mine does. I like to circle it around to give it a nice little coat. The pan's been heating, so it's already hot. We're gonna give it just a sec to get that oil heated, because we want the pan to be extremely hot. That way we can get a nice texture on the outside of our steak with a little bit of a crust, because I don't have a food torch. I need to get one. Anyways, while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and move that beautiful creature to the side and grab our murder knife. Chop the heads off those onions. Don't over there somewhere. And let's just slice these up nicely. I'm making 2 bowls also. I may not need all this onion, but okay. And after we get down to our greener bits here, I'm just gonna take this, thicken that up a little bit thinner, and cut these. This is just going to be the garnishments that we'll throw in once we get our ramen ready. so we're done with those. All right, now our oil should be about ready. That, yeah, that's cool. Okay, don't need you at the moment. Forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, we're gonna take the steak. I like to take just the tip, that's what she said, and put it in, that's what she said. See if it sizzles. Nice sizzle. So, high heat, I'm gonna leave it on a high heat, and I'm just gonna lay it in there. And you wanna hear that nice, crispy sizzle like that. And don't even worry about it, it's gonna be cool. All right, now we're gonna take our very necessary plate and put all these chopped up baby onions, not sure, and our garnishment. We got a lot of garnishment. Might throw some of that in the broth once we're ready. And then we will just find a place. The toaster looks nice, so put that on top of the toaster. Cool. Our water is almost ready for the egg to go in. We're gonna hold off. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of that juice out of this corn. Okay, corn's good. Take that off. The leek, I like to peel off the outer layer of the leek. And sometimes you'll need to do more than that. This one isn't too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and, since I wrote that, I'm gonna just take that off. Okay, just like the onion, cut the head of it off right there. And I do these a little bit bigger. We're not gonna throw a whole lot of them in, but I do love a good leek. Our steak's cooking nicely. Oh yeah, set a timer. It's supposed to be 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it before because I've been talking for at least a minute. Okay, well, that's done. Cool. Now, while that's cooking, we'll leave these to the side, and I've got nothing else to do. I guess I'll start getting stuff ready. If you were throwing it like in the microwave or something, we're actually going to be pouring the broth on top of our noodles rather than cooking the noodles in it. So I'm just going to put that in our bowl for now. These packets we will use. Go ahead and get the packets out of this one. I don't use both of the soup things when I make two bowls, so I'm going to toss that one. I will use this other Tonkotsu flavor packet, so leave that there. Set that back over here. Okay, so now that our steak's cooking, it's been on for a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and take our rice vinegar and place my fingers over the top like this so it creates a smaller opening, and then we're just going to gently get some of that on there. Oh yeah, that smells good. Alright, let that cook. Okay, now at this point we have bubbles, so we are boiling over here. We're gonna take this thingy that I said, it's like a ladle, I think? Sure, we're gonna call it a ladle. It's the holy ladle. Jesus gave that to me. And gently lower our eggs into the water and hope we don't crack them. Other one. Now that we got those in, little secret, you don't have to do this, but you can take vinegar, just a little bit, pour it in your water, and that will help make the eggs easier to peel. That's what my grandma taught me for Easter, so now I use it for ramen and also Easter. Okay, countdown. We're looking good on our steak over here. So let's, woo, that pops. Now these eggs are gonna sit for 7 minutes. They had about 1 minute left whenever I put them in the water. So once this timer up here stops, I'll go ahead and set that for 6, and we'll let them boil for 6 more minutes. So it'll be 6.5 to 7 minutes total that we're gonna let those eggs cook in there. We don't do anything to them at this point. All right, that meat is almost done. 8, 7, 6, 5. Hope these still work. Okay, we're good. 2, 1, and flip. There we go. That looks freaking great. Okay, turn that off. Turn it back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam. See that? Oh, it's off. There we go. Okay, we're started there. So now this is gonna go for 5 minutes on this other side, just so that we're cooked nicely. And then this 6 minutes is gonna finish off these eggs. So once we get to that point, we got to move on. We're going to be grilling these leeks, but we don't want to overcook them. So we're gonna wait until the steak's timer goes down, probably closer to about 1 minute, honestly. The leeks, they cook super fast, especially in this kind of heat. So we will wait on that. Once I flip this over, I do like to throw the oil around a little bit just to make sure that it's making full contact. So that should be good though. Probably don't need to touch it again. And now we wait. Okay, so we got about a minute left on the steak before we're gonna need to pull it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just throw our leeks around here. And then we can use our this thing again. Just kind of move those around. Get them close to the steak, they can get all that nice juice. We are going to boil these afterwards. This is really just to give them some texture. So don't worry if they don't look like they get cooked all the way. Okay, our beets were about a minute off on our eggs now. Just a little bit more time. That meat is good. So, still work. Let's go ahead. Transfer that back over to our cutting board. Now, before we cut into this piece of meat, in order to get all the flavor and all the juices like we want it to be, we're going to let that sit there by itself without cutting into it for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long I think that I can hold out, because that's gonna be good. Okay, the leeks over here, go ahead and throw everything in. It's gonna give you a little extra. All in that steak juice right there, let them absorb some of that. So just immediately over here into our water. Over here. And into our water. We're just gonna let those sit there until we finish with everything else. Okay, now we're gonna take our measuring cup. I do about 2 cups per bowl of ramen, and then 1 cup extra into my pot, just because we're gonna lose some during the process of heating it, and then if there's extra at the end, that makes, you can never have too much broth, right? All right, we're gonna go ahead and throw this back on our burner, right there. I went ahead and just did 7. There's 2 per bowl, 1 extra, and then it just looked a little light, so I've done 1 extra. I hear baby crying. I will be right back. So yeah, we're just waiting on our water to heat back up now. Once that heats back up, we can start making our broth. Look how good that meat's looking though. All right, guys, so we have come to a soft boil here on our water. We're gonna go ahead and add a few things into our water to get our broth started. We don't want it to be a roaring boil because once we hit that point, we are ready to finish off the broth and work into the next step. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our corn, we're gonna go ahead and just dump that in there. Bam, great stuff. Spank it. Okay, and then our onions on our plate here. Let's go ahead and drop those in there, as well as our grilled leeks. And I'm gonna throw a little bit of this garnishment in here because that's, there, looks great. Let's give that a stir. All right, now we wait. Okay, so our meat's been setting for about 8 to 10 minutes. So while our water gets back to its boil, we're going to go ahead and cut this guy up. So I do thinner slices because we're going to be taking this into bite-sized pieces. Look at that, great. And don't judge me for using the wrong knife because I don't want to do the extra dishes. And once we got our strips done, we can go ahead and start cutting those into smaller, bite-sized pieces. Gotta make sure it's good, so go ahead and taste test one. Oh my God. Oh my God, yes. There we go. We are done with our cutting of this steak, meat, thing, great stuff. We are done with the fork. Do not eat my ramen with a fork. If you don't know how to use chopsticks, pause this video, stop this video, and go watch a video on how to use chopsticks. All right, I hear our broth. Oh yeah, our broth's going real nice here. So let's go ahead and just give that a quick stir. Now, all those flavors from our vegetables that we've put in there, they should be pretty nice in that water now. So at this point, we're gonna move a few things around. Let's put this over here. Make room for our bowl, knife we are done with. Now I'm gonna throw that because I will destroy something. It's a heavy knife. Okay, so with our broth powder here, it says a tablespoon, teaspoon. Dissolve 1 teaspoon per half cup. I feel like that's a little overpowering. I also don't measure with cups when I do powder stuff like this. I can pretty much just eyeball it. So I just give it a sprinkle. Just feel the magic. You'll know when it feels right. That feels right. Okay, let's stir that up. Now we're starting to get some color in there. I like using the one with the holes because when I'm stirring like this, I get it going, and then I stop. See, all that pushes through the back of that, and I feel like it mixes it up better. May just be a me thing, but yeah. Okay, while we're waiting on our broth to go back to a boil, it's not gonna take it long. Let's move our plate down here because we're gonna need that. Let's go ahead and get these eggs ready. The cold water and the vinegar, they really help make it easier to get the shell off. So just crack that all the way around, both ways. And then it should peel. I hate peeling eggs. Makes me nervous. Should peel right off though. Yeah, it's coming off really easy. Okay, and then I just like to give it a little rinse. I know where all my trash went. Once I got that done, we're just gonna set it over here on our plate for now. Do the other thing, or the same thing, excuse me, to our other egg. And there's a little like film or skin underneath the shell. You want to get that broken. See that? You want to get that broken. That's how you get the shell to come off. Super easy. Okay, and our broth is back to a roaring boil, so we're gonna take that. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's take that off. I'm gonna set it right here on the burner that is no longer on. And I got some little scissors right here, even makes it easier. If you want scissors, cool. If not, then you can totally just tear these open, but ain't about that life. So we're gonna just dump this soup packet in. You wanna do this part kind of quickly so that broth stays piping hot. These flavor packets, these are green ones, and ooh, a little juicy. She's wet. Okay, we'll do both of those that we had. Okay, that's in there. I think I mentioned this earlier in the video. I feel like I showcased. I probably did. If I didn't, then oh, my hands are way slippery now. Good thing I got scissors. There are 3 packets of this per bag. I do 1 packet per bowl, so okay, get out of here. So I'm going to do 2 packets since I'm making 2 bowls. Just dump them straight in there. Beautiful. Okay, let's give her a stir. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna grab my other bowl real quick, just so I have both of them ready. Okay, now I have 2 bowls ready. Don't ask me why I don't have matching bowls. I do, but they're somewhere. So these are gonna work. We're gonna take our broth while it's still, we're gonna take this piping hot broth. Trust me, it is piping hot. Trust my arm, it is piping hot. And we're just going to pour it directly into our bowls, over our noodles, until it comes just above the noodle level. Beautiful. Now all these goodies are left in here on the bottom. We will add those. We're gonna let that broth set for just a moment. This will be just fine for getting all that stuff out. And while we wait on those noodles to get less firm, we're gonna bring the knife back that I threw away earlier that I didn't need. I'm so sorry. And we're gonna go ahead and cut these eggs open just to have those ready. So they are very runny on the inside, so try to get them to fall. One might stick to your knife. If it does, you just kind of toss it over to the other side you should have in your hand and be able just to lay it over to try not to spill any of that yolk. So I put a little pressure on the side, see, like I'm squeezing, it's already popping out the top right there. No way, no, that's just steak juice. That's good stuff. Hold the sides a little firm, that way it stays in place. We'll just go right down the middle. Bam, look at that, perfect. One more. Bam, oh yeah, that's good stuff. If you want to season the eggs, you totally can. A little bit of salt and pepper would be fine. A little bit of salt by itself would be fine. If you want to throw some paprika on it, however you want to do it. I don't, just because there is enough flavor in the broth already and the rest of the ramen. So once it's been sitting for a bit, I'll take my chopsticks and I'll just kind of feel. And it's a hard like brick when you put it in there. So you can see there's a noodle right here actually that's even starting to, oh, I lost it. There it is. Starting to come up. So we can tell it's coming apart. But poking down, it is getting softer, but it's not quite soft enough yet for me to feel like it's time to move on. So we're just gonna wait on that. What we can go ahead and do, we can go ahead and throw some of these veggies in there. So let's just get a nice scoop. There's one of our leeks and some corn, and we're just gonna kind of sprinkle that around on top. Get some for the other side. Sprinkle that around the top there, and do this with as much or as little as you'd like. I'm gonna make sure I get at least some more leeks in mine. Don't do corn as much as I do the leeks, but oh man, I can eat those leeks all day. So a little bit more right on our other side. Okay, this will get prettier, just wait. And with your meat sitting out, your eggs sitting out, they're gonna get a little chilly just sitting out like that, but don't worry because the heat from the broth itself will heat that back up. And it won't be piping hot too much for you to be able to stick in your mouth, so it's kind of a good thing. All right, let's check these again. Now, since it's been sitting a bit longer, instead of just poking down and squishing and feeling this time, I'm actually gonna open up our chopsticks and I'm going to grab and see if I can lift. See, it is definitely breaking up there, look at that. That is great. Okay, they don't have to be, what is the opposite of firm? Limp? Flaccid? Okay, our flaccid noodles here. They don't have to be completely flaccid for you to start the prepping, but just enough to where you can start pulling them up. This is almost there. You see it's still kind of stuck at the bottom, but we are getting very close. And just by doing that, I mean, it already has started to look more like a bowl of ramen. So let's give that just another maybe 2 minutes, and we'll come back and see where we're at. Okay, I think our noodles are about ready now. So just to break them up a little bit more, I'm gonna take my chopsticks like this, I'm gonna stick it in, and then I'm just gonna kind of zip in circles to get that all broken up, and then we can start lifting and folding. So let's go ahead, just start breaking that up real nice. And then lift, a little more vigorous. There we go, look at that. That one's good. Go ahead and get on this one. All right, now they are beautiful. Let's go ahead and start the fun part. Let's start throwing some stuff in here. So we'll start with some seaweed. Let's go ahead and grab a couple sheets. That's still hot. I'm not putting my fingers in it. You can use your chopsticks, push against the side of the bowl, and work those down in there. Let's take some of our lovely meat. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. And our egg. Actually, that looks nice right here. Just play with it. You don't have to do it exactly like this, obviously. Yeah. I want more meat, but I can always come back, I guess. No, I can't. I have to have more. There. That looks nice. Okay. Alright guys, and there you have it. Ramen fit for even the highest ranking of ninjas. And everything, like I said, you can get at your local Walmart. It's super easy to make and super accessible. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe.